Good morning, everyone, and I hope you are all keeping well. Here we have the OV-1D, which the Malagasys are returning to service in limited numbers as part of a gunship competition. Yes, that's right, a gunship competition and an escort aircraft competition. Now, here is the forward operating base, a section of it that I've been working on. This would be one probably third of a side, so you'd have another section with the entrance, and that would be one side. Obviously you'd then have some of these gabions running along this side, and then on the other side you'd have another side like this which contains living quarters and so on and so on. So if you want to say that this is 1/6 of the forward operating base, that's a good idea. Now, in terms of protecting the operating bases and protecting special forces, a lot of people have been asking about gunships like the AC-130 gunship. I do have some gunships. I have my Fokker F-27 gunships. Always sounds naughty, that. But in terms of the gunship concept, I'm not a fan. I think in many ways it is obsolete in the age of the drone. Now, the Malagasys are introducing a new competition for gunships and escort aircraft, and they've returned 6 of these OV-1Ds to service from the spares to go with the XC-142 fleet, the CV-142 fleet, and escort them around. And there's a trial for protecting forward operating bases like this. They may have more, but the competition is designed to select a decent number of airframes to serve as escorts, and also to try out the concept. Now, the OV-1D is a good aircraft. It has the longer wings. This is a Hasegawa, one of the ancient Hasegawa kits. The wings are not as decent as the OV-1A. They are quite difficult to put the extra wingtips on. Essentially, the OV-1D was an up-engined A, B or C series. The B had the longer wings, the D got the longer wings, improved avionics, dual role capability, the ability to carry a radar pod here, and the fuel tanks, which gave this almost a 500-mile combat radius, which is pretty good. The aircraft is faster than a gunship, can fly low, medium altitude, and therefore is better at escorting the CV-142s. To modernise this over the A models, it still has the refueling probe there. It has more countermeasures and internal jamming systems. It has more chaff and flare dispensers, has the Hellfires under here, a 25mm chain gun pod, still got those wind corrected munitions dispenser, the cluster bombs there, and laser guided rockets, 2 Hellfires, and on this side a glide bomb kit for a 500-pound bomb, better turret system there, and in many ways it's just an evolution of the same thing. So what am I looking at with gunships and escort aircraft? Well, it's a really good question, because of course the OV-1D would be very good in the role for the army. You could protect a firebase, forward operating base like this very effectively using one of these aircraft, and you can escort the CV-142s as well. However, this isn't carrier capable, and if the Malagasy model is about carrier capability, it's about forward projection of power over long distances. So yes, the OV-1D is in-flight refuelable, which gives it extra range and endurance. It already had a 4-hour loiter time, but in terms of loiter time and range, if you go to the Viking platform, for example, you've got 2,765-mile range. You've got carrier capability built in. Can it operate from short fields and rough fields like the OV-1D? Not really, but it is a robust carrier aircraft. Is it available in numbers from the Americans at A-Mark? Yes. Can they do a deal with Trump? Probably. But the main thing that's interesting me about this is a refueling tanker version, is the sonar buoy launchers underneath. Now, the Viking, of course, being an anti-submarine aircraft, these are partially filled in, has the ability to drop loads of sonar buoys. And the sonar buoy launchers are also capable of dropping unmanned aerial systems, effectively loitering munitions and drones. So with the AC-130, you've got to go into that orbit to target with your guns. With the OV-1D, which could also carry loitering munitions, you've got to either get the Hellfires or drop the cluster bombs or use the glide bomb, which is a good way of using it. The glide bomb gives you standoff range. But with the sonar buoy launchers carrying, say, 20 drones, loitering munition drones, you would have the same effect on target as the gunship, whilst being able to stand off and use the drones to get inside any enemy air defences, keep the gunship at a range away from it. The Viking was packed full of sensors anyway. It's got the capacity to carry weapons internally as well from the weapons bays. So I will be building a Viking for the competition as well, a gunship Viking. Who'd have thought? I'll also be using a AN-28 or an MC-145 and building that. So there'll be 3 aircraft in the competition: the OV-1D, the Viking, and the AN-28 family. I've got one of those upstairs, but I'll be building another one. Helps me clear the backlog of kits, but it also gives what I think is a very, very capable gunship. It wouldn't need to carry all 4 crew, but it could. It can also do standoff jamming. It's a very, very attractive platform. Take care. Goodbye.